Good morning everyone. So today we will discuss how to factorize a cubic polynomial. I have already told you how to factorize a quadratic polynomial into the product of its factor, and those factors are the linear polynomial. For example, I have told you, suppose this is a quadratic polynomial, then we can factorize this quadratic polynomial as the product of two factors, and these two factors are linear. Suppose since it is a quadratic polynomial, that means it has two roots, that is a and b, and if it has two roots, that means it has two factors, that is x minus a and other is x minus b. So this quadratic polynomial can be expressed as the product of x minus a into x minus b, where a and b are the zeros of this polynomial. And we have already discussed how to factorize this or such type of quadratic polynomial using either factor theorem or middle term splitting theorem. Okay, but today we will discuss how to factorize a cubic polynomial. Cubic polynomial means a polynomial whose degree is 3. Okay, that is known as a cubic polynomial. And we know the solution or the zero of the polynomial depends upon the degree of the polynomial. It means since it is a cubic polynomial, so it gives 3 zeros. Okay, why? Because it has degree 3. That means it has 3 solution or 3 zeros, or you can say 3 roots. Clear? Since it has 3 roots, what are the 3 roots? We can take that 3 roots be a or b or c. Okay, these are the 3 roots, and we know according to the remainder theorem or according to the factor theorem, if a be a root, then what is the factor? Then the factor is x minus a. And if b be a root, then the factor is x minus b. And c be the root, that means the factor is x minus c. And you can see all these 3 polynomial or the factors are linear. So we can write this cubic polynomial as the product of 3 linear polynomial, that is x minus a whole into x minus b into x minus c. Okay, and these are the factors of this quadratic polynomial. Okay, so we finally conclude that any cubic polynomial can be expressed as the product of 3 linear polynomial. And now in this class we will discuss how can we factorize such type of cubic polynomial into the product of 3 linear polynomial. Okay, but before that, always keep in mind that a cubic polynomial generally written in the form ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. This is the general cubic polynomial. We have already discussed a general quadratic polynomial is written in the form x square plus bx plus c. Similarly, any cubic polynomial can be written in general form as x cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Clear now? So let us discuss how can we factorize such type of cubic polynomial into the product of 3 linear polynomial. Okay. So let us discuss how can we factorize this cubic polynomial 12x cube plus 23x square minus 4x minus 15 into the product of 3 linear polynomial. Okay. So first you see, it is a cubic polynomial, that means it has the degree 3. And if any polynomial have degree 3, it means it gives rise to 3 zeros. Okay, what are the 3 zeros? Suppose that 3 zeros be a, b and c. And according to the factor theorem, we know if a is a 0 of the polynomial, then x minus a is another factor. If b is a 0, then x minus b is the factor. And if c is 0, then x minus c is the factor. Okay. So our final target is to convert this cubic polynomial as the product of x minus a into x minus b into x minus c. Okay, so our target is to find the value of a, b and c, and if we find the value of zeros a, b, c, then we can easily get the factors x minus a and x minus b and x minus c here. Okay, so let us discuss how can we find such zeros. Okay, so in order to finding the zero of such polynomial, we have to use a special technique, and that technique is known as hit and trial technique. Okay, what is hit and trial technique? So in hit and trial technique, what we have to do? We have to put different value of x, or we have to substitute different value of x in the polynomial and need to find the total value of the polynomial. Okay, and if the total value of the polynomial is 0, that means the remainder is 0. And according to the remainder theorem, if the remainder is 0 or p of a is 0, then x minus a is a factor. So in this process we can get the factor. How? See, suppose I am substituting here. What we have? We have p of x is equal to, first write it down, 12x cube plus 23x square minus 4x minus 15. We have to use hit and trial method. Hit and trial method means we have, or we can put any value of x. Whether you can put x is equal to 1, x is equal to minus 1, x is equal to 2, x is equal to minus 2, any value, and define the total value of the polynomial. Okay, so first we have to put x is equal to 1. So what is the value of p of 1? It will be 12 into 1 cube, 23 into 1 square minus 4 into 1 minus 15. That is 12, 23 35 minus 19, that is 16. So does we get 0? No, we didn't get 0. So I am writing is not equal to 0. Since the total value of the polynomial is not equal to 0, that means x is equal to 1 is not a 0 of the polynomial. This is clear. So let us put another value of x. Suppose I am putting x is equal to 0. Okay. So here you find p of 0. So it will be 12 into 0 cube plus 23 into 0 square minus 4 into 0 minus 15, that is 0 plus 0 plus minus 0 minus 15, that is minus 15. And here also it doesn't give 0. That means x is equal to 0 is not a factor of the polynomial. So now we have to try with x is equal to minus 1. You can take any negative value also. So p of minus 1 is equal to 12 into minus 1 cube plus 23 into minus 1 square minus 4 into minus 1 minus 15. Okay, so 12 minus 1 cube are, since it is a odd number, so the power of any negative number with odd number gives rise to a negative number, minus 12. So plus minus 1 square is 1, 23 1 is 23. It will be 4 minus 4 minus 15. So minus 12 plus 23 minus plus 4 minus 15. This 2 gives rise to 11 plus 4 minus 15, that is 15 minus 15, that is 0. And here we get the value of the polynomial to be 0. For which value of x? For x is equal to minus 1. Okay, so we can write for x is equal to minus 1. P of minus 1, or you can say P of x is equal to 0. So according to the remainder theorem, if P of a is equal to 0, okay, so here x is nothing but the 0 or a, and if P of a is equal to 0, then x minus a part is the factor. Okay, it is the factor of the polynomial. Why? It is the factor of the polynomial because here x is equal to, for x is equal to minus 1, the value of the polynomial is 0. That means x is equal to minus 1 is a 0 of the polynomial. And if it is a 0 of the polynomial, then x minus a is the factor of the polynomial. So here we get a is equal to minus 1. So we can write, what we can write? So the first factor is what? X minus a. Okay. that is x minus, here a is minus 1, that is x plus 1. Okay, clear now? So this is the first factor, that is x minus a. So it is now completed. Now we need to find the other two factors, x minus b and x minus c. Okay, I think this is clear. How can we get the first factor? By finding the value of the 0, that is x, or you can say a, by substituting any value of x using hit and trial technique. Clear now? So let us define other two zeros. How can we find the other two zeros? See one thing, since x plus 1, okay, is a factor of this polynomial. Okay, since any polynomial or any number, if is a factor of other polynomial, then if we divide this polynomial by this factor, then the remainder must be 0. For example, you can say 5 and 15. What is the factors of 15? 1, 3, 5 and 15. If, and here you can see 5 is a factor of 15, and if we divide 15 by 5, then what must be the remainder? The remainder must be 0. Okay. Similarly, if this is a factor of this polynomial, this cubic polynomial, and if we divide this polynomial by this factor, that means the remainder must be 0. Clear? So now our target is to find other two factors. How we can find it? We can find it by simply dividing this polynomial by this factor. Okay. Suppose I am writing here 12x cubed plus 23x square minus 4x minus 15 should be divided by x plus 1. So when this polynomial is divided by x plus 1, then we get something as quotient, but we get 0 as remainder. Yes or no? Yes, because this is the factor. So let us find what is the quotient. Okay. So first write 12x square. Okay. So it will be 12x cube plus 12x square minus cancelled out. So it will be 11x square minus 4x minus 15. Then plus 11x. Okay. So it will be 11x square plus 11x. Now minus this two cancelled out. It will be minus 15x minus 15. Then minus 15. It will be minus 15x minus 15 plus and plus. This cancelled out, 0. This cancelled out. Now you get the remainder is 0, and the quotient is what? And the quotient here we get 12x square plus 11x minus 15. Okay, since it is the first factor, okay, and the remainder is 0, so the other factors can be get from this quotient. Because why? Because as we know, this dividend, this is the dividend, is the product of divisor into quotient plus remainder. Since remainder is 0, that means this total dividend is equal to this divisor into quotient. So now from this quotient we have to find out the other two zeros. Okay, how? See one thing here. We need to divide, or we need this type of division method in order to find the quotient. We can use another method to find this quotient. How? Let us check out. See how we can find it. So first write the coefficient of x, x square, x cube and the constant. See how I am writing this. This is 12 and this is 23. This is minus 4 and this is minus 15. Okay. Now since we get x is equal to minus 1, so write here minus 1. Okay, x is equal to minus 1. Now what you do here, just write 12 as such. Okay, now multiply 12 with minus 1. So 12 into minus 1 is minus 12, and write minus 12 just below 23. Okay. Now add this two. 23 minus 12 is how much? This is 11. Clear? Again, multiply this 11 with minus 1. This is 11 into minus 1 is minus 11. And write minus 11 just below minus 4. Now add them. After adding them, it will be minus 15. And now again, multiply minus 15 with minus 1. Minus minus plus 15 into 1 is 15. So just write 15 here. Okay? Now add them. It will be 0. So this is the remainder part. Okay, this is the remainder part. And the other three parts, these are the coefficients. Okay, these are the coefficient of the quotient. Okay, so here we get 12, then 11, then minus 15. Okay, as the coefficient. Clear? Now, since it is divided with x plus 1, that means when we are going to write the variable, so we should write x square here. Why we write x square here? Because when x multiplied with x square, it gives x cube. And if we write x cube here, then it will be x fourth. Okay, that is why we have to write x square only. Then here x only. In the decreasing order of their degree. And here it is the constant term. So it will be plus. So hence we get the quotient is 12x square plus 11x minus 15. Now here also you get the same result. 12x square plus 11x minus 15. Here also 12x square plus 11x minus 15. So after getting the first factor, you can use any method, either division method or this technique to find the quotient. Clear? So finally what we get? We get the quotient will be 12x square plus 11x minus 15. Okay. Now we can write this cubic polynomial 12x cube plus 23x square minus 4x minus 15. Okay, A is the product of this dividend. This is the dividend. Okay, or this is the polynomial. Can be written as the product of x plus 1 into the quotient 12x square plus 11x minus 15. Okay, since the remainder is 0, so we can write the divisor into the quotient plus remainder, that is 0. Okay. So you can get this quotient by using two methods, either division method or the method that I have discussed earlier. Okay. So now we need to factorize this polynomial. Since it is a quadratic polynomial, why? Because the degree is 2. Okay. So it is a quadratic polynomial. Now we can easily factorize this quadratic polynomial as the product of two linear polynomial. How? By using middle term splitting method. Simple. See, this is the quadratic polynomial plus 11x minus 15. Okay. So here we have to split this middle term into two factors or two parts such that. So this is the middle term. This is b because ax square plus bx plus c. So here b is 11, this is the middle term, and a is 12, c is minus 15, ac is 12 into minus 15 is minus 180. So we need to split this 11 into two parts so that they add to give 11 and they are multiplied to give minus 180. Clear? How? Now 11 can be splitted into two parts. One is 20. Another is minus 9. Okay, you can know how can we factorize it? By factorize 180, 90, 45, okay, 315, 53. Okay, so from this we get 11 can be split into two parts. One is 20 and another is minus 9. So that when these two are multiplied, 20 into minus 9, this is minus 180. Okay. And when these two are added, so it will be 11. So it is true. Now, what are the two parts? The two parts is 20 and minus 9. So we can write 12x square, okay, plus 20x minus 9x minus 15. So now from these two parts or from these two terms we can take 4 as common, 4 and x, so it will be 3x plus 5. Now from these two parts minus is taken common and 3 is taken common, so the remaining will be 3x. It will be plus because when minus is taken common, then inside the bracket the sign will be changed. So plus 3 5, this is 5. And now from this two term you can see 3x plus 5 is the common term, so you can take 3x plus 5 as common and the remaining part will be 4x minus 3. And now we can factorize this quadratic polynomial as the product of two linear polynomial, that is 3x plus 5 and 4x minus 3. Okay, so we can write what we can write? We can write this cubic polynomial is equal to x plus 1 into, in this place we can write 3x plus 5 whole into 4x minus 3. Okay, so now this cubic polynomial is expressed as a product of three factors and these three factors are linear polynomial. Okay, it is expressed in this form, x minus x minus b into x minus c. Here also we get three factors. Okay, so now let us factorize another cubic polynomial. Okay, so here we have to factorize the cubic polynomial p of x, that is 35 x cube minus 67 x square minus 8x plus 4. Okay, since it is a cubic polynomial, that means we have to factorize it into the product of three linear polynomial. Why? Because it gives three zeros, hence it gives three factors. Clear? So first we have to assume any value of x for which the value of the polynomial is equal to 0 by hit and trial method. Okay, so for this, suppose I am putting x is equal to 1. So p of 1 is equal to 35 into 1 cube minus 67 into 1 square minus 18 into 1 plus 4. So 35 minus 67. After calculation it gives minus 32 minus 4, that is minus 36, which is not equal to 0. That means it is not a 0 of the polynomial. Now we can put x is equal to 2 here. So it will be p of 2, that is 35 whole into 2 to the power 3 minus 67 into 2 to the power 2 minus 8 into 2 plus 4. Okay, so it will be 35 2 to the power 3 is 8. Okay, so 8 5 is 40 0 4, 8 3 is 24 280. So it will be 280. Now this is 67, 2 squares are 4, 7 4 is 28 2, 6 4 is 24 2 is 268 minus 268. Then 8 2 is 16 plus 4. Okay, so after calculation 280 minus 268 is 12 minus 16 plus 4. 12 minus 16 is minus 4 plus 4, that is 0, and finally we get the value of the polynomial to be 0 for x is equal to 2. That means, so it means x is equal to 2 is a 0 of the polynomial. Okay, since it is a 0 of the polynomial, according to the remainder theorem, or you can say factor theorem, x minus 2 is a factor. Okay, so this is the first factor. Okay, so the calculation of first factor is now completed. Clear? By hit and try method. Now we need to find the other two factor, or you can say the other two zeros. How? By simply dividing x minus 2 with this polynomial. Okay, that means this polynomial 35 x cube minus 67 x square minus 8x plus 4 is divided by the factor x minus 2. Since it is a factor of this cubic polynomial, that means it must give a remainder to be 0 and give some quotient, and that quotient we need. Okay, we can use this division method to find the quotient or use another method to find the quotient. Okay, so let us use the second one or the second method. How? So for this or in order to find the quotient, you have to write the coefficient like this: 35 minus 67 minus 8, okay, and then 4. And here we get x is equal to c. This is x is equal to 2. Now this 35 has remained. Now multiply 35 with 2. It will be 35 to the 70. So write 70 here. Add this 2. Minus 67 and plus 70 it gives 3. Now 3 is multiplied with 2. 3 to the 6. Okay. 3 to the 6. So now you get minus 8 plus 6 is minus 2. Now this minus 2 is again multiplied with 2. So minus 2 into 2 is minus 4. And after addition it gives 0. And this is the remainder. And the other 3 parts, that is, what are the 3 parts? 35, 3 and minus 2. These are the coefficient of quotient. Clear? So now we need to write the variable here. Okay? Since this cubic polynomial is divided with x minus 2. Okay? Here x minus 2. That means in the quotient term we must have the degree starting with 2 because it is starting with 3. Why it is starting with 2? Because when x is multiplied with this x square gives x cube. Okay? If we will write 3 here, then when this x is multiplied with x cube it gives x to the power 4, which is not true. Clear? So this term will be x square, this term will be x, and this term will be constant. Okay? And now this is minus 2, and now you just write plus and plus. So it will be 35x square plus 3x plus minus minus 2. Now this is the quotient term. Okay, so our target is fulfilled now. We need to find the value of quotient, and here we get. So write it down. So now you can write the cubic polynomial. This is 35x cube minus 67 x square minus 8x plus 4 can be written as the product of, see, this is the 0 means x minus 2 is the factor. So it is written in the product of x minus 2 whole into this quotient. That is 35x square plus 3x minus 2. Okay. So now this is a linear polynomial. Okay. But it is a quadratic polynomial. So we need to factorize this quadratic polynomial using middle term splitting method. Okay. So now this quadratic polynomial 35x square plus 3x minus 2 is to be factorized using middle term splitting method. That means now this middle term 3 is to be split into 2 parts. Okay, so that they add to give 3 and they multiplied, okay, to give 35 into minus 2 is how much? Minus 70. Okay, so now this 3 can be split into 10 and minus 7. Okay, so after multiplying this 10 into minus 7, it gives minus 70. True. And when we add this 2, 10 minus 7 gives 3. This is true. Hence, this 3 is split into 2 parts. One is 10 and another is minus 7. So I am writing this. So this is 35x square plus. So here. So this 35x square plus 3x is 10x minus 7x minus 2. Now from this 2 you can take 5 as common and x is common, and the remaining part will be 7x plus 2. Now from this 2 you can take minus as common and 1 is common, so it will be 7x plus 2. Hence finally you get it will be 5x minus 1 whole into 7x plus 2. And hence this quadratic polynomial is factorized into 2 parts, 5x minus 1 and 7x plus 2. So we can write this cubic polynomial 35x cube minus 67x square minus 8x plus 4 as the product of x minus 2 whole into 5x minus 1 into 7x plus 2. This is done. Hence, any cubic polynomial can be factorized into the product of three linear polynomial using hit and trial method, and after using hit and trial method we get first zero. From that zero we have to get the factor. Okay, now finding the factor you have to find the quotient, and that quotient must be a quadratic polynomial, and that quadratic polynomial now factors into the product of linear polynomial, and finally you can get the cubic polynomial as the product of three linear polynomial. Okay.